Everyone, what's up? Blue here, coming at you, Blue, Logan, whatever you want to call me, doesn't matter. If you want to become a member of the Lightning Legion, don't forget to subscribe in the description. And welcome to Arzee's Multiverse mod. Well, no, not really a mod. I mean, I did the mod already. I'll put that in the video. I'll put that in the video. You can go back and watch my video if you haven't. The showcase. This is their update. Mostly villains, although some of them aren't villains. Most of them are. Basically, their twist on regular heroes with basically being villains, basically. So let's start with the you know what? Let's start with Witherblade. Let's start with Witherblade. So how you get Witherblade is you need Witherbone alloy. So to even get Witherbone alloy, you need a withered skeleton skull, 6 bones, titanium ingots, which is, and then a lava bucket. And then to even get molten Witherbone alloy, basically you take the Witherbone alloy and you take the lava bucket and you put it in crafting table. There we go. And then you get molten Witherbone alloy. Now basically you get, so then basically you combine that with an injector and you get Witherbone, and you get the Witherbone alloy. But the trick is with this one, with this hero, you need to inject it. But the trick is with this is you need to inject it 6 times. I know, that's a pretty violent way. But you need to inject it with 6 times. And so basically, Witherbone is I keep calling it Witherbone. Witherblade, I keep mixing up the freaking alloys. So basically, it's a cross between Wolverine and Daredevil, pretty much. So to even do this, you're going to need regen. Take the injector, regen, take another injector, and if you do it right, that's saying if you do it right. Ow. Like me, for example, I did not do it right. Like me, I didn't do it right. But the point being, which I'm about to kill myself right now again. The point being is that to obtain this power, you need to inject yourself. You need to inject yourself 6 times. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, obviously, I did this in creative mode. But in normal survival, it is definitely recommended to have regen. I would do something stronger than 45 seconds. I don't know what I was thinking. But Witherblade is basically, again, a cross between Daredevil and Wolverine. So, and to disable the shaders, if you don't want the shader, just press F4 if you don't want the shader. All you gotta do. Yeah, just press F4. If you don't want the shader, then just press F4. I don't know why it ends up going back every time I press F5. I'm not sure. But I'm just gonna keep the shader on just for So Witherblade is basically, again, as I say, a cross between Wolverine and Daredevil. which... Oh, actually, next we have Orange Bat, which I guess you can tell what hero this is based on. Obviously, some of these heroes are heroes, and some of them are villains. Like, for example, Witherblade is Daredevil and Wolverine, and then you got Thor, and then Hyperion, which is pretty sure I'm based on Homelander. And you got Falcon, or Steelwing, and then this one is... I forget the name for this one, but that one's a complicated one. But onto this one, though. So with... Ow! Okay, so with Orange Bat, you have a few abilities. You have the Glider, like Dead Zone. You have a Grapple, which can pull you in various... which can pull you very fast in various locations, but I would be very careful. I'd be very careful because it does a lot of damage. Okay, and then you got the Batarangs, which do 8 damage, and then the Orange Pistol, and then the Orange Bat Pistol, which does 7 damage. And then you have a few different grenades. You have the Shock Grenade, and then the normal grenade, and then other 2 grenades. So, this grenade, Smoke Grenade. Completely invisible for about 10-15 seconds. For about like 10-15 seconds. And then the other abilities. So let's just get some cows in here. So the other grenades, so for example this one. It's not an insta-kill, but cows are just insanely weak. And this is a shock grenade, which I'll show you on the dummy. The shock grenade, and I showed you on myself. The shock grenade will give you the shocked effect for about 5 seconds. And it will shock you. So it does 8 damage, and then every 2 damage is shocked. And then every 2 damage for shocking. And then the actual grenade, that does 14 damage. It does 14 damage total. I know, it's powerful. Okay, so that's Orange Bat. Awesome. Personally, actually, Orange Bat is one of my favorites. I still think Witherblade is definitely my favorites. I still think Witherblade is definitely one of my favorites out of this right now. Next is Cordex. Which Cordex is, I'm pretty sure, the main villain of season of the enhanced SMP. I'm pretty sure Cordex is the main villain of the enhanced SMP. So again, he's made from Asentium. He's also part of the code. He's part of the code, which the code involves a few aspects. It involves the wrath of the code, the transformations of the code, the forge of the code, the discipline of the code, and the souls of the code. These are the 5 aspects of the code. So Cordex, being, Cordex. Awesome. So this one, you're able to channel your wrath. You're able to channel wrath. So basically, and then send it out in like such an explosion. And then this, you go invisible, certain amount of time. Obviously, you can't aim your wrath while you're invisible. And then the telekinesis, which, if you time it right, you can actually pretty much just fling. If you time it right, which I did not, you can kind of just fling them around. You can kind of just like fling them around. It depends if you time it right, but you kind of can just like fling it. Kind of can just fling them around. And it's just really fun to do. Next is the Asentium bracelet, which Asentium, as I said, is a very rare... Okay, so back to what I was doing before this game inevitably crashed. I don't know. Back to what I was doing. What I was talking about was the Asentium bracelet. The Asentium bracelet was basically a way... Oh, and Cordex also has a shield as well. So basically, the Asentium bracelet is basically a way for Cordex to basically pop on the suit whenever needed. So, for example, for example, I'm gonna put this back in this too. So for example, I'll take Revertrax's suit, take Cordex's suit off, but keep the Asentium bracelet. So basically, the Asentium bracelet, if I slip on this suit real quick. So the Asentium bracelet basically lets me not save whatever suit I'm wearing, like kind of just lets me instantly switch. Boom, Cordex. And then switch back to the, and then it just switches back to the suit that I'm already wearing. So that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much it for the Asentium bracelet, which I have a clone of in my inventory, because every time you get the suit, you get the Asentium bracelet. So let's do, okay, next we'll do, okay, all this we'll get to later. Next, probably grab, let's do Ciphus. So get Ciphus's mask and Ciphus's armor. So you may ask, why does Ciphus have a mask? Because the suit, it doesn't give him any powers. And okay, this spear is awesome, let's be honest. I mean, come on. Look at this thing. And it's made out of Asentium, one of the rarest metals ever. This does clean damage. This does clean damage for what this is. And then you put on the Ciphus's mask for the head. And the spear will do about like 10.5 damage a swing. Yeah, the spear will do about like 10.5 damage. So we got a few abilities. Invisibility, Code Energy Blast, because he's also part of the code. So for example, when you go invisible, you will, and if you have the spear, you will be noticed. If you start moving, you'll have eyes, you'll have the spear. But if you take the spear, it'll just be the eyes. Next we have the Code Blast, which, again, makes sense, because you're coming right out of your visor. And then you have the Code Blast, which let me show you this. So the code, which comes right out of your goggles, one shot a cow. And then if I just say, if I just basically surround myself with cows, I know. And then I just do this, boom, repulse. I just repulse them all. Okay, so that was Ciphus. Pretty good, pretty nice, cool. So that was pretty much Ciphus. So that's all you really need to know when it comes to Ciphus. And then let's move on to Proto, which I actually really like the name because it definitely describes him pretty accurately, considering he's basically kind of a prototype. I'm not gonna say prototype, but I'm gonna say like, no, yeah, he's kind of like a prototype of the Redstone mech, but he's also different as well. Like for example, with the Redstone mech, he can shrink twice. So this is the normal size. This is the medium small size, which is, let me just grab this training dummy for comparison real quick. So this, okay, so then we got the normal size. We got the normal size, and then we got the medium small size, the small size, which, damn, that thing is huge, and then we got the huge size. Wow, I am so huge, it's so funny. And then you got the blades, which you can use at any side. Which you can use at any size. So, this big size, it'll do like 9.5 damage. this normal size will do 7 damage, even. And then it'll do 6 damage at a medium small size, and then at the very small size, it'll do 5. So, yeah, those are the blades. And then you have the aim ability, which actually... So the aim ability is different for... So basically, when you blast something, I really shouldn't try this on camera because they're way too weak, they will levitate. And you can also do this on yourself to get to higher places if this tree wasn't in my way. You could use this on yourself to get to higher places. Like, for example, shoot myself. Boom. And I just saved myself. So that's basically the aim. That's basically Proto's aim ability, which is actually really cool and really handy if you want to, I mean, mess with your friends, get to higher places, you know, the normal stuff. Mostly troll. Okay, next is Steelwing. Oh, I forgot to mention, Steelwing and Ciphus are not finished yet. They're, like, we're able to use them. The suits work, but they are not finished yet. So we have Holster Firearm, which doesn't do anything. The Jet Boost, which he can actually fly, but I don't think the Jet Boost does anything. But the main ability is wings, which obviously it won't look like this when it's actually finished. But basically, apparently I got a limit to hover. But basically, what you can do is you can fly, and then you can enable the wings. Boom. That's basically Steelwing, which is basically Falcon. So Steelwing, as again I repeat, Steelwing and Ciphus are not finished yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So next we'll move on to, let's see. Ooh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Let's move on. We gotta go somewhere very mystical for this, but let's move on. So, oh god. The thing is so close that it's like, okay. So here's a sacred site. The Stormbreaker Monument, which I'm gonna get a better view here. Stormbreaker Monument, which, again, rare materials, if you wanna be that guy or that girl and desecrate a sacred site, go ahead. But the Stormbreaker, as you can see, no one is worthy. But you need to be... So you need to actually be worthy to pick up Stormbreaker. So to be worthy, which, as me, I am totally worthy, I think. Here's hoping. I mean, here's hoping I'm totally worthy. But to be this guy, to be this way, since I'm not going to find, I don't know where village is, I'm going to just give myself the effect. I'm just gonna give myself the effect. So to be worthy and pick up Stormbreaker, you need the hero. And there it goes. So to be worthy, you need the Hero of the Village effect, and then you can just pick up Stormbreaker. And apparently Stormbreaker's in my head. Apparently, I don't know why, but it is. So with Stormbreaker, you can throw it with right click, and it will come back to you no matter what. Hertz and the developers did a very good job on this. For some reason, it's glitching, and Stormbreaker's still in my head, even though I threw it. I don't know why. Every time I throw it, Stormbreaker's apparently in my head. But as you can see, it'll still follow me every time I fly. So if I just really quickly, so as you can see, I'm Stormbreaker. Not Stormbreaker. I'm Thor. So let me just get a few cows. So Stormbreaker, basically, you can throw, and it will come back. Awesome. And then you can also normally just hit people with it. I'm not sure. Oh, it does, actually. So, you have a few abilities. Yield Stormbreaker, which basically puts everything away. Summon Stormbreaker. Boom, lightning. Lightning, and you get the suit, and I get Stormbreaker in the head. Because of course I do. So let me, for example, and also you get electricity crackling around you. So if I remember where it is, right here. This is not part of the mod, but this is from Superhero Plus, and I want to show you guys this anyway. And I'm coming back here regardless. So I want to nope. So I want to show you guys. Wow, okay, those things are violent as hell. Okay, that was the Bifrost ability. I didn't mean to do that. So basically, what this will do... Basically, what this last ability will do is Lightning Slam. So basically, you generate lightning, and it'll basically slam your opponents. I didn't think these things were so powerful. But basically, what the Bifrost does, so if you... What the Bifrost does, if you kneel... not kneel. If you... Ignore Stormbreaker in my head. I don't know why Stormbreaker is being like this. So basically, you can get another ability, which is to set Bifrost point. And then basically, so say I go back, to, say I go back to the base, or near it at least. This is actually one of my favorite abilities out of this, because they did such good, Hertz and them did really good work on this. You summon the Bifrost, and it will teleport you to wherever you set your Bifrost location. So for me, I set my Bifrost location in front of this bank. And it will also work with mobs and stuff. It will also work with mobs. And then there is this other ability, is if you crouch. I'm gonna stay over here real quick. Actually, I might as well show you the Bifrost ability and the mobs if you're near them. So it will also take mobs and stuff with you as well if you're in the Bifrost. Like, for example. So it would be good for, like, carrying stuff and everything. So there is also another ability called, I'm not sure what it's called. It's lightning storm. That's all it is. Just a lightning storm. So that's basically Stormbreaker, and I don't know why, but Stormbreaker is, like, in my head, and I'm not sure exactly why. But I'm gonna yield Stormbreaker. So basically, that's Thor. That's basically Thor. Then I take the DNA normalizer. Okay, next, what haven't I covered yet? God, I don't even know what I haven't covered yet. Okay, next is... Oh, yeah, okay, we're almost done. I got two more. So, we got this suit, and then we got this suit, which is called the Kinetic Containment suit, but there is... So basically, this is a... kind of... I'm not going to say Q, but this is basically a play between Juggernaut and Gridlock. So if I just grab the Swiftness Potion real quick on the Shulker Egg. Lightning Bolt. Okay, that may have not worked out entirely that may have not worked out entirely how I planned, but it still worked out. Because now I have the powers. So now, with this, as you can see, I just gained more health. So as you can see, every time you move, you'll not only become faster. Oh god, yes. You basically what Hertz and them were trying to do, and the reason they went with levitation from an annoying ass shulker is basically because levitation is constant motion. You are literally in constant motion, regardless of. I'm gonna go deal with the shulker. You're basically in constant motion. Okay, that's better. Why is there a shulker in here now? Okay. But yeah, basically you are in constant motion. So with Gridlock, or as this character, I'm not sure of the name. I know the power set, but I don't know the name specifically. And if I could stop levitating, that would be great. Okay. Anyway, so basically what this thing does. So basically what it does, the more you move, the more health you get, and as you can see, God, I'm hating these shulkers. Now I remember why I hate these things. Now I remember why I hate these things so freaking much. Basically, now I remember why I hate these things. Like, I hate these things so freaking much. It's not even funny. So the moves he has are kinetic dispersion, and if you keep moving, if you have to keep moving. So basically, with this guy. With the powers, you have to keep moving. You can't stop. You can't stop, or else your kinetic energy will go down. But that's not really a problem with the suit. As you can see, when you stop, and I forgot I died. I forgot I died. So I'm just gonna. Freaking shulker. Freaking shulker. Shulker pain in my butt. Okay, finally. Okay, so basically what I was trying to show is the suit. So the suit is, again, if I can find it in here, or it might be in here. Yes, Kinetic Containment. So the reason it's Kinetic Containment is because, I mean that's what it is. It's Kinetic Containment. So basically, with this suit on, which, to be fair, this suit is super cool. So with this suit on, you will actually contain your energy. You actually contain your. So you're basically unstoppable. So once you press that, you're basically unstoppable. So you will retain your kinetic energy. I think. Apparently you won't. I don't know why, but you won't. And then the main ability that I want to show you, well, the rest of it anyway, is kinetic dispersion. Basically, it will literally repel. I forgot I died, so now I need to get more spawn eggs. So basically, it will literally repel anything you want. So basically, with this, you gotta keep moving. So with this, and then basically it'll just send out a freaking shockwave. So that was Kinetic Containment, which honestly, really cool powers. Really cool powers. I am so amazed at the work Hertz and his team do on these suits and on these powers. It's great. It really is. I'm so amazed. buy the suit, buy the suits and the powers. Okay, next is Hyperion. Hyperiors, loosely based on Homeland. Well, not loosely. I mean, not loosely. It is actually based on Homelander. So with this one is very complicated. This one is less or more complicated. So we can start with the new enchantment, which is Genetic Harvesting. This is a new enchantment specific to this mod. So, say you take a sword. I'm so glad I had a level for that. So basically, you have, I think it's I don't know if I'm right, but I think it's a 10% chance, or no, it's a 5% chance for a bottle of blood every time you use Genetic Harvesting. Every time you kill a mob or a player, it's a 5% chance for a bottle of blood. And since Hertz is apparently a betting man, he literally made Hyperion's powers and how to craft them based on percents. So there's a chance that when you craft Compound V, which is from the boys show, there's a chance that you won't actually even get his powers. So there's a chance all that work is gone for nothing. See? Yeah, 5% chance. There's a 5% chance and you'll get a bottle of blood. I already have a bottle of blood, so it's not really gonna bother with this right now. So basically, what you need is... So, basically, you take the bottle of blood, you take a gas tier, take netherwort, and you take chorus fruit. So you craft that all. So chorus fruit, gas tier, netherwort, and a bottle of blood, and you get unstable mutagen. So then that is where the new block comes in. And you may ask, "Oh, Logan, why do you have 25 of these?" This is where the new block comes in, which is the chemical composer, sorry. So you need a brewing stand, a furnace, a piston, and titanium ingots for the chemical composer. So for the chemical composer, so you take unstable mutagen, there is I forget the actual chances. There's a 10, I think it's 10%? I think it's 10% every chance with unstable mutagen that you get that you can get the stable version of mutagen. So being that I am not that lucky, I did not get the stable mutagen. Yeah, being that I'm not that lucky, I didn't get the mutagen. Yeah, so being that I'm not super lucky, I didn't get the mutagen. If you want a more detailed, if you want a more detailed aspect of, if you want a more detailed review, I will link Arzee's down below. But basically what's supposed to happen is you have a chance to gain the stable mutagen, which is this. So you need a nether star fragment, a wither rose, a gas tier, a god apple, and stable mutagen. And then you get compound V. So you actually have, for example, you can actually make an empty injector as well. So obviously, because you get the witherbone alloy injector, and then you got the empty injector, which is piston, titanium ingot, and iron nugget. So you basically combine the empty injector with compound V. So you take it to a crafting table. Boom, compound V injector. So there is a chance that you basically will not get these powers. There is a chance. So basically, it all starts out like this. It all literally starts out like this. So you'll get shocked for 53 seconds, wither for 53 seconds, concussed for 53 seconds, and then ignore the bad omen. I've had that. So, and then there's a chance with this, and you can't move. You can't move while doing this. You literally cannot move like at all. It's just this. So there's a chance when these effects wear off that you will get Hyperion's powers, which I do like how the items actually shake though. I do that's a cool detail. That is a really cool detail how the items will actually shake when you're doing this. It's really cool. It's a really cool detail. So yeah, there's even a chance that all this work you won't get Hyperion's powers. There's a chance that even you just will not get Hyperion's powers, even though you've done all this work. I think it's about a 10% chance. I think it might be about a 10 or 20% chance. I'm not sure. That you won't actually get Hyperion's powers. Which I don't know why I didn't do this without. I don't know why I didn't do this without freaking I don't know why I didn't do this without regen. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do this. I don't know why I was silly and didn't do this without regen. I have no idea why I didn't do this without regen. Yeah, so basically, I'm just going to, because I need it, I'm gonna just regen infinite. I'm just gonna give regen while I do this, so hopefully, yeah, there we go. Third time's the charm, apparently. Apparently there's a third time's the charm. Apparently. Yeah, apparently there's... Yeah, third time's the charm. Woo! Apparently. Okay. Anyway. So basically with Hyperion's powers, loosely based on Homelander. So you get Laser Eyes, Ground Slam, Sonic Scream, Throat Grab, and Break Restraints, which I will show you. So Laser Eyes, obviously, you have to hold it, and as you attack, or as you are attacked, you will build up something called Rage. You will build up something called Rage, and you will literally just... I love other things that... It's not supposed to be all wobbly like that. My skin does not really match the thing. But and this is the Ground Slam, which will do 16 damage total. Then you got the Sonic Scream. And then you got the Grab, which I'm not sure if you can do this to mobs or not, but we're about to find out. So the Grab, as far as I know... Yeah, okay, yeah, so you can do the grab to mobs. It does look a little funny when you're moving, but basically the grab is supposed to kind of look like this, pretty much. I mean, not like this. It looks like I'm grabbing the cow's butt. I mean, not like this. But basically, it's supposed to just kind of... Oh god, I lit that tree on fire. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, it's basically just supposed to... You know, basically do that. So this is Hyperion's armor. Okay, it's not any more busted than when I saw it in the review. Very cool armor, honestly, really very cool armor. So basically, I will show you the last ability, which is Break Restraints. So the last ability, there is nothing to dampen. There's nothing to dampen Hyperion as of yet. But basically, what the Break Restraints does is, since nothing can dampen him, as of yet, he's basically allowed to do this. Feels good. I love the flight, though. I love the flight. Oh, God. I flew right into the fire. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think that is pretty much... Hyperion was the last thing I had to show you. Oh, no, my bad. No, Hyperion is not the last thing I have to show you. So, I would be very careful with, doing just, like, I'd be very careful with, going after Compound V, or just going after Hyperion's powers in general. Because this whole, like, how to obtain his powers, literally gambling. It's just gambling. That's all it is. It's literally just gambling. So basically, oh, and then there was one more thing there's a few more things I want to show you. That I will show you later. But next is the Orange Lantern, which I think, I'm not sure if it's up to 42 or if it's up to 47. I don't know. But let me see. XP add. I'm just going to add a ton of XP to myself. So let me just 63. I think it's supposed to be 78. I think, as far as I know, anyway, it's supposed to be 78. I know for testing purposes they did 100, but it's supposed to be 78. So I'm gonna try and get myself up to level 78. If I just stop doing this and just do this instead, yeah. As your greed knows no bounds, you spot a ring flying towards you. It is yours, only yours, and forever yours, nobody else's. Basically, again, Orange Lantern, as you see here. So the Orange Lantern can be equipped in your ring slot. So the Orange Lantern, as you can see, you have no power. You have no power except to harmonize the suit. So, and then this is the skin. This is the enhanced SMP's Orange Lantern Dirax or Diraxian. Dirax or something. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. As you can see, I can't shoot, but you can turn back, so you can be normal. But pretty much, I will say the suit itself looks very cool, and obviously you can't fly because your ring isn't charged. But how you charge that ring is where this comes in handy. So it goes by tiers. So with greed, it's literally just self-explanatory. So with greed, different loot will charge your ring. So it goes from low tier to medium tier to high tier and to ultra tier. So low tier is iron and flint. I don't have any flint on me, but iron will be good enough. So you have these in your inventory, and they will charge your ring. As you can see, it's slowly going up. It's slowly going up. But low tier loot won't charge it that much. So if you grab medium tier loot, which is nether quartz, heart-shaped herb, gold, lapis, amethyst, and an ender circuit, and an ender pearl, you can see it going up faster. So each tier of loot will charge your ring faster. So medium loot is fast. The low tier loot will charge it very slow. Medium loot will charge it decently. High tier loot will keep going. High tier loot will charge it more excessive and rapidly. Now ultra tier loot, which would be a nether star, a spawner, kryptonite, a fodder box, a tachyon device, and a beacon, that will charge your ring really fast. So basically, with the ring, now you can use the ring. As you can see, you can fire. It takes about 2 shots for cows. And then also, you can use a shield as well. So like this. And you can actually fly with the shield, you're flying very slowly. And then we have my favorite ability, the Construct Mace, which is very awesome. And as long as you have this loot in your inventory, your ring will stay charged. So as long as you have this in your inventory, your ring will stay charged. So that was basically the lantern ring. And then, yeah, so you got your high tier loot over here, your medium tier loot, your low tier loot, and then your ultra tier loot, which is the best. Your ultra tier loot is the best. But I would recommend just kind of grabbing all this loot, honestly. Look at me, I'm already greedy. This orange lantern ring is evil. This thing is evil. Anyway. So, these are some various weapons that are in this game. That are in now. The Axe of Rathius, which, let's be honest, looks awesome. So the Axe of Rathius will do about 13, 12 damage. And then we have the Scythe, which will do 12 damage, actually. And then the Circuit Energy Rifle, which explodes. So, for example, since, boom, literally it explodes everything. Okay. So now, I do want to show you this new thing. I want to show you what they added in. They finally added in the Speed Force dimension. Finally. So I'm gonna take Revertrax. I don't know how to say that. Revertrax's suit. Jeez, that is really, really weird and hard for me to say. I don't know why, but it is. Basically, lightning. Like this. Summon. And boom. Boom. Now I'm a speedster. Okay, so basically, you know, you have your normal abilities, blah blah blah. You have your normal abilities as a speedster. And then I'm gonna grab this tachyon. You don't need the tachyon device for this, but I like it. I like to have it because it gives me the extra levels. But basically, if you get to a high enough speed level, or when you get to a high enough speed level, you will be able to enter the Speed Force, which I will show you right after. The final thing to show everyone is this. They finally added the Speed Force. Let's go! Woohoo! As you can see, Speed Force is literally just a blank dimension. You can see, it is literally just a blank dimension where I can put secret bases or do basically anything. And for some reason, it gives me red and blue lightning for some odd reason. I don't know why. But that's pretty much all I wanted to show you. So, from one person to another, that's it. And I'm probably stuck here forever. Oh wait, no I'm not. Don't forget to like, subscribe, strike the bell with the lightning so you never miss another video. And, as I said, throw lightning on that like button. And if you want to become a member of the Lightning Legion, down in the description. Bye, guys.